This lesson is find the value of h for which the vector are linearly dependent. I have 1 vector, 2 vector, 3 vector. Put all 3 vectors into this form. So this right here is our A. So A has 1 vector, 2 vector, 3 vector times x equal the last column will be 0. So because I have ax equals 0, so the last column is 0. This is our A, okay, which is your first, second, and third vector I have up here. Again, this 3 is your A times x equal last column 0. Okay, so now we just have to solve. So this part right here, this is a 2. I want this to be a 1. So change this 2 into a 1. Again, this is a 2. I want this 2 to be a 1. So multiply by the reciprocal, which is 1 over 2 to the whole row 1. Again, I need this 2 to be a 1. So multiply the reciprocal of 2, which is 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 times 2 gives me 1. 1 over 2 times negative 6, negative 3. 1 over 2 times 8 gives me 4. And 1 times 2, 1 over 2 times 0 gives me 0. Okay, so the second row and the third row stay as is. Okay, so we just change the first row. Now this is a 1, so we leave it alone. We need to change this negative 4, this positive 1 into 0, 0. Okay, so opposite of negative 4, positive 4. Opposite of positive 1, negative 1. Again, we need to change this negative 4 into 0, 1 into 0. So opposite of negative 4, positive 4. Opposite of positive 1, negative 1. So 4 R1 plus R2. So 4 times 1 is positive 4. Subtract 4 gives me 0. 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12, plus 7, negative 5. 4 times 4 gives me 16. 16 plus h is h plus 16. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Okay. Repeat that process for the third column. Since this is positive 1, I need a negative 1. So negative 1 times 1 gives me negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 gives me 0. Negative 1 times negative 3 gives me positive 3. Positive 3, subtract 3 gives me this 0. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4 gives me 0. Negative 1 times 0 is 0. Plus this 0 gives me 0. One more time. Negative 1 times 1 gives me negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 gives me this 0. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. Subtract 3, 0. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Plus 4 gives me this 0. Negative 1 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is this 0. Okay? And as you can see, this is a 1. This is negative 5. However, it doesn't matter if we continue or not. This spot right here is a 0. Because this is a 0, then we have a linear dependent. One more time. If we continue, there's no purpose of continuing because this right here is a 0. Since this is a 0, then it is a linear dependent. Okay, so one more time. As you can see, this is a 1, this is negative 5, and this is a 0. There's no point of continuing to solve because this is a 0, and since this is a 0, it is a linear dependent. Okay?